You see the foam, the plywood? DEA agents estimate the cost of this tunnel to be $1 to $1.5 million. Meaning shorter wait times for the nearly 7,000 cars that come through this port of entry on a daily basis. I talked to about a dozen people around town and learned that it's a touchy subject for many, which is one of the reasons why car sales have still not gone down. I was thoroughly impressed with the students I followed during this statewide shakeout.
Teachers, they taught me really good how to do it, so I just remember.
At 10:18, it hit.
It was sort of fun doing it, so the kids know what to do.
The Great Arizona Shakeout, an earthquake practice drill. I followed a second grade class at Palmcroft Elementary School to see how they would deal with the big one, and students did just as they had practiced.
You get under the table, put one of your hands on right here, and then you put your other hand like this. After you do that, you wait until it's over. You get out and you evacuate the building.
So I followed them outside where they quietly lined up while Mrs. Hartley did a roll call. Devi explained this emergency backpack with a first aid kit and other emergency items. Mrs. Hartley says being prepared at all times is critical.
It's just an opportunity for us to get the kids ready to be successful in case there is emergency. It's very important to teach these kids to be prepared and to be ready.
Debbie told me if there were an earthquake at home, she would know what to do there too.
They do the same thing at school, but except it's at home.
Mrs. Hartley said her class did awesome, giving each student a high five for a job well done.
They learn by practice and routine, so that when it does happen, they'll just be ready to go and they know what they need to do.
Debbie understands the purpose of this drill and knows exactly what not to do.
If there's really ever a real earthquake, so we would know what to do so we're not freaking out running around everywhere.
I asked Mrs. Hartley and the students if they've had drills like the one today, and they told me that they do them quite frequently. Mrs. Hartley said that you really can't practice emergency preparedness enough. Anna, back to you.
New details tonight in a drug tunnel recently found in San Luis that spans the U.S.-Mexico border. ABC 5 News reporter Vanessa Herrera is the only local reporter invited into the tunnel and joins us now with more on this exclusive look. Vanessa?
DEA agents say the tunnel that is nearly 60 feet deep had not been in operation for very long. One agent said that of all 89 drug tunnels found in Arizona in the past 10 years, this one by far the most sophisticated one he's seen in his 24-year career.
The first fully operational tunnel seized in Yuma County.
From the outside, you would never suspect this building houses one of the most sophisticated drug tunnels in Arizona. In January, the Drug Enforcement Agency began keeping a close eye on this building because of high traffic at a business in San Luis, Arizona.
Arizona Department of Public Safety officers conducted a traffic stop in Yuma.
The truck was one that had been spotted in the surveillance. That's when they came across this, 40 pounds of meth worth nearly $750,000. One American and one Mexican citizen were arrested and questioned.
The agents were able to determine that they probably had enough information to request a search warrant.
Agents entered this storefront at 508 Archibald Street, a business right next to a furniture store and market 1 block from the border, and found these. Nearly 60 drums filled with sand that came out of this tunnel.
The purpose of these boxes is to cover the loads that you'll see back there of the dirt so that it can be moved out without drawing suspicion.
Agents also came across this 2,000-gallon barrel of water. They moved it with a forklift and found it. The tunnel, nearly 60 feet underground, runs more than 700 feet across to the Mexico side and is literally just feet from the border crossing.
I can't think of that I've seen too many more that had this amount of work and this amount of sophistication behind it.
The tunnel even had lighting and ventilation.
You see the foam, the plywood? DEA agents estimate the cost of this tunnel to be $1 to $1.5 million.
One of the most surprising things? Agents believe the tunnel was made the old-fashioned way with buckets and shovels.
As it's so close to the border, you don't have to move the dope that far. You don't have to dig the tunnel that far. You want to get it someplace where you can sneak in on one side and pop up right. The shorter, the better.
The other end of the tunnel, an ice packing plant. Authorities say it is an ongoing investigation, but once it is concluded, Border Patrol agents will be responsible for filling it with concrete. Until then, it will be guarded 24 hours a day.
Now, agents on the Mexican side are helping with the case, but DEA agents over here will not comment at all on Mexico's aspect of the investigation. Incidentally, agents arrested another person when they initially entered the building, bringing the total number of arrests to 3.
Well, the biggest problem we have is people running stop signs at the bus stops.
Over 170 school buses transporting more than 6,000 students a day.
Kids cross the street and the kids don't look because they just figure the stop sign's out, cars are going to stop.
The Yuma County Board of Supervisors, School District 1, and the Yuma Union High School District made this week a time to recognize the importance of school bus safety.
We have highly trained school bus drivers and aides that ride on our buses every day.
But it's challenging when one bus can carry more than 80 students, let alone the cars driving around that bus.
When the red stop sign comes out, it means you're supposed to stop, and a lot of people try to get by it. Some people don't even seem to notice it and they'll drive right by.
Gerald Reagan says the school bus staff, parents, and teachers all remind kids to watch out for cars when they get off the bus, but drivers really need to be cautious.
Realize that they're kids. They're going to forget this stuff. They get excited, they get interested in things, they don't think about what they're doing.
And Reagan says that these buses make frequent stops, bringing up this year's theme.
If you're following a school bus and you can't see the driver in the mirror, then the driver can't see you and you're too close.
He says he's seen way too many kids almost get hit by cars.
That's why drivers need to be especially careful when they see buses that are loading or unloading students.
Reporting in Yuma,
Be patient. We're not going to be there for very long.
Vanessa Herrera, ABC 5 News.